Coffee time. I've been looking forward to this all day. And I always look forward to AMA. Ask me anything. It's weird. They let me put, like, other merch. Like, not my own. They won't let me sell my own. They let me sell other people's, so. What did I put in there? I put some GNC stuff. You can get the pick. That's kind of cool. Alright, let's ritualize us some coffee and let's get started. Aren't these beautiful napkins? Napkins, as some people say. I think they're awesome. They're almost too nice to use. They're almost like cloth, like linen. Look at that. Isn't that trippy? That's quality. I was informed that True Bar is closed tonight because this casino's a ghost town. Parking lot's a ghost town. I was informed that they're doing a buy one entree, get one entree free. That's a pretty sick deal. I might take advantage of that. Maybe we'll do that next week. Maybe we'll come in here and eat 2 entrees. That's what it takes to get me full. Alright, let's dump this down there. Look how dark that is. You can't even see the cubes. Once they're only like a quarter an inch under. That's awesome. I love it. Let me say hello to some people while I'm ritualizing here. Oh, the music's stupid loud. Stupid loud. It's dark over here too. Let me see if I can chew gum and walk at the same time. Janice, Maria, Mary, Joe Q, Tom, Valmarie, Boris. What's with the FB stuff? I'm curious. Is that I don't know, what is that? FBP? I don't know what that is. You gotta tell us. Great day, Mom. I hope you feel better. Sony N90. Oh, I'm managing my rhythm while scrolling. That's pretty cool. Marie Bell. Tom Mack, I think you got the twofer. Kevin, what's happening? Anthony, shout out. UK, what are you doing up at 1:30 a.m.? Well, same thing I am. Every night. Sylvia, Chanel Fischel. Alright, we need more. Alright, I think we're gonna hit 2 more. Bonk. Look at that. Look how dark that is. Look, watch. It's like barely under. And that's that's like not even a quarter an inch and they disappear. That's sick. BCDC. JR, what's going on? Yeah, I can't list my own merch, Janice. Isn't that freaking weird? I don't know what I did wrong. I just came out of, remember I took the, what do you call it? I went through their rehabilitation course. They just congratulated me because it's like 90 days since I took my, went to re-education camp. And they were like, oh, you did good for 90 days. So, let's see if you can keep it going. Like one of those things in a union hall, in a union factory where they put like, 90 days since the last injury. That's what FB does to me, bastards. Not FB, YT. Angie. Venus. Chloe. Bror Fredrik. Tom, what's going on, brother? Art Flowers in the house. Jim Wolf. Bert. I want to get everyone. You just got your first hand pay at the Cosmo, Jordan. That is freaking awesome. $1,600 bucks. Wait, let me see. Have you ever been streaming and chat? I mean, that's an instant way of getting blocked, right? Oh my god. Troll activities engaged. I'll turn this around in a second. Let's continue here. I want to catch everyone. Double Eagle. Rhonda. Porkenstein. Who else is here? See people getting blocked like freaks over there. The freaks come out? Was there nothing to do? Ah, look at that. Look at that. Haley did it up right. Alright, let's do, what should I draw? Should I draw something like Christmas tree? How do you draw a Christmas tree? How do they do that? How do they make art? Let's see if we can make art. Wait. Blanc. Let's see what kind of art comes out of that. Oh, that looks like a dragon. Kong Hei Fat Choi. What's this here? Alright, enough screwing around, Bror Fredrik. Drink your coffee. Let's get this AMA on the road. Dang, just got hit with my first commercial. What is this for? Polybag mailers. No, I'm good. I'm good with the poly bags. Alright, let's put this aside. Alright. Blump. Let's turn this here around. Blump. See how dark it is over here? It's like stupid dark. I feel like we're in the dark. Yeah, we're in the dark over here, but it's kind of cool. I'm like the only person over here. Alright, let's check the coffee. Tastes better if you extend the pinky, you know what I'm saying? You see my weird pinky? It goes in like 3 different directions. It's so good. I look forward to that all day. Alright, so it's AMA day. Pretty much my favorite day of the week when it comes to streaming, because I love answering questions. I love the thought-provoking activities such as that. So you guys get me to think. You guys put me on the spot. I feed off you. I get to come up with some awesome content, and you guys are awesome. So the rules of AMA, I'll tell you right after I invite you to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is at least 5 times a week. And if you want to support the channel, super chat while I'm live is awesome. You can click on all the links down there, do all this stuff. I know you guys love me, support me, and I do appreciate it, and I do feel it. And all that said, okay, the rules of AMA are as follows. You can ask me anything, hence AMA. Certain things I will not answer, such as date of birth, social security number, credit card information, home address, what else? Driver's license number, things like that. Obviously, I'm not going to get an answer. Everything else, if I think it's a little too personal, but you guys haven't hit me with anything overtly personal. You know, boxes, briefs, I'll answer that too. Who cares? I'll dance around it, but you still get an answer. Super chatted questions will always get answered. Everyone else's questions, if I find it, if I want to feed into it and turn it into a topic, I will answer it. But I try to get to everyone. You guys know that. All right, let's see if there's anything. What are the burning questions on people's mind? Yeah, bank account number, that's out. You know, because they can't do one-way ACHs. If they could, I'd give it up. Am I going to the Super Bowl? Asked Jordan. No. But I'm probably going to the Super Bowl party at Aria like I did last year. Stream that. That was friggin' awesome. Do I have any cue cards to read all that? No. It's just, I've been doing it so long, and, you know, I got like a mental script that runs through my mind at all times. Bror Fredrik coming at you live with another video. You know, I could do that all day long. I'm gonna invite you to like, share, subscribe, and I could just do it, you know? Once I make something my own. FBF the live stream. I might. I haven't been down there in a while. I mean, how weird it sounds. The thing that keeps me out of the FB is that coffee sucks. I mean, it literally sucks. If they could do something about that. Thank you, Buster. I don't know what it's, I think it says Revolution, something like that on it. Something like that. Got some wings on the back. I dig it. It's got like a little, even though this is a light, like a GTA Russian gangster jacket, it's still got some, I don't know if you can see, it's got like a little fleece on the inside. So it's kind of warm, but I'll tell you what, when I parked a little while ago, it was 65 65.4 degrees, 65 degrees here in Vegas in the coldest month, supposedly the coldest month of the year. That does not bode well for what the summer's going to be like. Summer's going to be frickin' hot because it's probably going to be in the 70s within the next week or two. It's like there was no winter. It got cold for our standard of cold for maybe a week. I'm not happy. My air conditioner's been running like a freak. Raining in the Bay Area. Alright, Jim Wolf asks, Bror, did you ever think you would have lived this long? And I didn't, and it would have lasted. Yeah, I've been in some, I've told stories in the past. I've been in some harrowing situations. I mean, I can't even tell you all of them, but I've been in some life-threatening, harrowing situations. I mean, I was never on a plane when a door blew off or anything, but I was almost eaten by a mountain lion, almost drowned it a couple times, got into some serious stuff over the course of my life, and I ain't afraid, as odd as it sounds, I'm not afraid to die whatsoever. Like, that doesn't bother. I'm not looking forward to it, you know. I'm not like, you know, it's not like give me an axe, let me die a Viking, you know, even though I am Viking yet. It just doesn't, the concept doesn't bother me because I do believe in an afterlife, you know. I know that that we're living behind enemy lines in this world, you know, so the next world will be even better. And I want to play a pretty significant role in that, you know, come back. You know what I'm saying? What I do have a problem with, I'll tell you what I have a problem with. Not dying. You know, that's a fact of life. I resigned myself to that shit when I was 8 years old, going through all those surgeries I had to do. Getting old and dependent. That would be a fate worse than death in my world, because, and I'm a strong, independent dude, if that's even allowed to be said. You know, it's just my nature. So to be dependent and, you know, having people wipe my ass and spoon feed me food, just pull the plug. You know, if you're hanging with me and I'm on a plug, just pull the plug and let's get over with, you know. Old, dependent, not so much, you know. So yeah, death is what it is. Is a shopping stream due? I like the tension of someone stealing the trolley. But I think a shopping stream is due. Alright, the last time we were here, just to touch on that for a second, the last time we were here, I saw, when I was in Dillard's, I tried on some John Vedavato suits, and off the shelf, they fit me pretty freaking close. They're not cheap. So, on the way out, I saw a Veravato shop here. So I'm like, oh, I can kill two birds with one stone. I'm gonna go in there like a boss, and I'm gonna tell them, you know, I want to get fitted for suits, and if they mind if I live stream, you know, that way you guys could check out what it's like and whatever, the whole process I go through. The guy's looking at me like this. Like head to toe, up and down. He's looking to see if my nails are done and shit. And I'm just like, bro, just stop. just put that shit on pause. Pump the brakes with your judgmental attitude, because yes, I can afford it if I wanted to. But if you're gonna treat me like a dick, I'll just walk out. And then I'm like, where's the suits? He's like, we don't make suits. I'm like, I just tried on like 5 over at Dillard's. What are you talking about? He's like, oh, we just make those for Dillard's and one other, Nordstrom's, I think. We specialize in, you know, whatever. Like, it's like clubwear, like high-end clubwear type of shit. And they were just like total fucking assholes in there. Right over here. I hope you're watching, buttheads. But they were so rude. I mean, I get it, you know, he's like trying to feel me out to see if I have money to spend, you know, $500 for a jacket or whatnot, but You know, don't judge a book by a cover. That's a big mistake, number one. Number two, you're an asshole. You know, that's all I'm gonna say. You had a close call, Jay, you had a close call on a walk in the UK. You were attacked by a stag. Damn. So that does happen. I've seen them fight back sometimes. Wow. Well, I'm glad you're all right. Don't get gored by a stag. Were you out there harvesting meat for your family? Is that how that happened? Or you were just like kind of wandering and whatnot? Were they in rut? Yeah. Around Christmas, they're probably rutting by you, right? That's pretty nasty. Alright, let's see what else we got. Yeah, like the scene in Pretty Woman. Mike K. Bro, do you want to be cremated on a boat in the Bellagio fountains? No. That's one thing I don't want to do. I don't want to die in Las Vegas. It has no appeal to me. To me, Las Vegas, as much as I love being here, I lived here off and on. This will be the third time I've lived here off and on. I can't imagine growing old in this town. I mean, I would feel like something was totally missing in my life if I grew old and died here in Las Vegas. I just feel like, for me, this is such a transient, like, stepping stone. Even though I've come to spend, you know, cumulatively almost 20 years here, like 7 years and 7 years. Now we're going on 6 years, so it's about 20 years altogether. You know, I kind of come and go with the economy. I could not picture growing old here. Like, I just couldn't, you know? You know, I want peace, you know? This place is not peaceful. I mean, there's a lot of retirees and whatever, you know, come here because of no state tax, and they piss away their retirement on the machines and all the rest of that crap. It just holds no appeal to me to be old in this town. You know, I'd rather be like spry and hopping fences and doing my thing. When it's time to like slow down, you know, golden year level slow down, which I don't think I ever will. I want to do that, like, you know, piece of property that belongs to me, lake, you know, that type of, I want to live that life. I want to live that, like, mellow, kind of outdoorsy existence. Here in Vegas, no. If I die here in Vegas, I mean, I could die tonight, you know, get run over by a bus with the Amber pictures on it, but, nah. Am I aware that I say, all right, like most people say, aight? Okay. Cool. Now I'm aware. That's awesome. Rhonda. If you don't see it, well, yeah, I don't know. Like, I want to go back to the Northeast eventually. You know, that's really my, that's really my, that jives with me a little better. Like Northeast, New England area, you know, New York, Connecticut, Maine, maybe, you know. That's just the way I'm wired, you know. My land and what, like I do have a big ass piece of land. I have 660 acres in Wyoming. I mean, that's not a flex because it was like pennies I paid for that. I pay 924, it's gone up, 924 a year in property tax, but there is nothing, like nothing. In order to do anything with that, I'd have to bring in like solar power and wind power, and you know, like when I bought it, they had every single intention of, they were like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a community, you know, buy now. I mean, it's gone up a little bit, but you know, I probably couldn't sell it at this point. But there's no power, I'd have to dig wells. I mean, there'd be a lot of work involved in getting that right. But it's pretty cool. I've only been there twice. When I bought it, and about 7 years ago, I bought it shit, I bought it almost, probably like 20 years ago. I bought that piece of land. It's huge. I mean, 660 acres is huge. As far as the eye can see. Live out all my cowboy fantasies and whatnot. In the summer, get snowmobiles. I mean, it would be good, but it's a rough life. You know, that's a young man's game. I'm young enough to do it now. But to retire out there and be like, you know, not being able to hoof a saddle on the back of a horse, I don't know about that. Oh, Tom Mack, that is a great question. Aspirin or ibuprofen? Aspirin works on my headaches. Ibuprofen works on, because I do get them on occasion when I get like dehydrated, so I do use aspirin for my headaches, ibuprofen for aches and pains, and Tylenol, Acetaminophen, whatever, for inflammation. You know, one of the strongest painkillers, like when I had the face surgery, you know, I can't believe it. It's 2 years ago, today or yesterday, that I had the first series of operations on my lower jaw. Wow. And thank you for the 5 Bananaramas. I found out from that doctor, if you take 2 ibuprofen and 2 Tylenol at the same time, that's a great painkiller, because normal painkillers do nothing for me. Like, they gave me the oxycodone and oxy whatever, all the stuff that people say is so highly addictive. I was just like, it didn't do nothing to me. I don't know if people say they get like something out of that. It did nothing for me. But the 2 ibuprofens, they say you're not supposed to take so many ibuprofen because it, you know, it gathers up in your kidneys or your liver or some shit. Aspirin is completely natural. It's from a bark of a tree, but it does work on my headaches and whatnot. Quickest headache remedy, believe it or not, is like 3 aspirin, like 600, well, the 175s, what does that come out at? 5 and change, and 1 no-dose, which is basically what Excedrin is, because caffeine just, you know, fixes that. So yeah, I try not to take something. The funny thing is, I tweaked I was doing some shit, and I tweaked my back, and I had to take some of that ibuprofen and Tylenol mix. This shit does work. Yeah, exactly. Val Marie, exactly. So I made my own. It's called Advil Plus or Advil Premium or some shit, which is half ibuprofen and half that. And so I made my own. Yeah, exactly. It does work, you know? I mean, I still have, they gave me, what the hell was that? From the surgery, I got like bottles of them, the ibuprofen 800, you know, like the prescription strength. I don't know if that does any better or not. But yeah, on occasion I gotta swallow some of that crap. I don't see my chat moving. Let's get that chat moving. We got 116 people. You guys getting bored with AMAs out there? I don't think I've ever taken a Motrin, Stephanie. Did I ever take, what is Motrin? Is it its own formulation, or is it a brand name ibuprofen or whatever? I don't think I've ever taken one. Yeah, Maria, time flies. Imagine that. It's two years ago I went in when they, you know, when I was going septic and whatnot. No, I went in there a week before that. This week, yesterday was when they started the actual surgery, where they pulled out my old implants and started resurfacing my jaw and everything. I'm still convinced it changed my voice and it changed my face a little bit. I'm still the same, but I feel like I look different. But they saved my life. Motrin upsets your stomach. Oh, that is ibuprofen. Okay. Did I ever own a Sony Trinitron? No. I think the only Sony product I ever owned in my whole life was like a set of headphones or something. And I always found, that's the second commercial I just got hit with, and we're only 25 minutes in. Yeah, I had like Sony headphones. I don't think I've ever had anything else Sony, to be perfectly honest. I don't know why. I mean, maybe because it's like expensive. Did I play any sports in high school? No, I did not. No, I mean, my gym classes, we had 2 gym periods a day. I didn't do any. My school was like a penitentiary, you know. It was not a good experience over there. All I did was learn how to fight over there. I used to go from 6 a.m. to 11:30. I had 1 gym period in the like third. Our periods were only like 40 minutes long. Some of them were 35. The school was whack. Was weightlifting, like, you know, like I said, it was like a penitentiary, so all the inmates were making gains the best we could. And then my last period was outdoor track. So what we used to do is get changed, we'd do 1 revolution around the track and go out of this hole we cut in the fence with some wire cutters, and we would bolt. So we would be out of school like at like 10:30 or something like that. It was odd. They used to have like freshmen and sophomores used to go from 6 to 11 or 11:30, and then the seniors and juniors used to go from 11 to 4. You know, that was crazy. But yeah, didn't do anything. Didn't do crap in that school. That school was kind of pointless, unfortunately. I mean, good thing I got a brain on my shoulder because I didn't learn anything there. Art asks, when do you think the casinos will start loosening up the slots? Never. Unfortunately, they will only start loosening back up the slots when people stop playing them. You know? And people are just sitting their asses in front of them, losing like they've never lost before. The machines have never, ever been tighter in all of gaming history than they are right now, and they're getting tighter by the day. The only way that's going to change is if people boycott it. If people just say, F it, there's no value proposition. It's not even fun anymore to play slot machines. It's just not. It's just like setting money on fire. You can put 100 in and not get a drink, you know, betting minimum bet. And there's no joy. You know, people say, oh, it's entertainment, you're not expecting to win. Yeah, but I'm expecting some entertainment value. You know, what's the prop of, you know, just sticking money in, 2 minutes later it's gone. But people are still doing it, so they have no incentive to loosen up. It's only when the shit hits the fan, the economy changes, or people straight up stop. I wish they would. Wish people would just follow me and boycott slots. Is it just me, Double Eagle, or has time seemed to move even faster? Yeah, I think so. You know, you might be onto something. You know, the vid changed everything. I mean, I think at this stage of the game, I think everyone's had it, even if you don't think you have, but it's just a form of, see, I'm gonna get spanked again. It's just another thing, you know? Like, I've had this cough, like upper respiratory, like little phlegmy thing going on since New Year's Eve, and it's finally going away. And what is it, like what's today's date? The 19th. I've had this shit for like almost 3 weeks. Is it the vid? I doubt it. It's something, some type of upper respiratory weirdness. But I think we all have it or had it. And those of us who are purebloods like myself, it's not necessarily bad because, you know, now we have immune we have immunities to it. That's the way things work. That's why you have to drink from hoses once in a while. That's why you have to, eat a piece of food that fell on the floor once in a while. You can't sanitize everything. That whacks your immune system. So, shout out purebloods. Steve, you had the same thing. I went to Vegas for New Year's and came, right? Everyone in town has that. Everyone in town. Maybe it's something that they're spraying because they're always spraying shit in our air over here. But maybe it's a test bed for, what is it? VidX, they're calling it now, that they're going to release before the election. That way, like they can reinforce the mail-in voting thing. I don't know. But it's some type of upper respiratory thing. It's not terrible. It's just annoying as fuck. I mean, you guys hear me... and it's not that dry thing. It's, there's something that's irritating it and causing, that. Maria, thank you for the 5 banana rounds. Maria, are you getting more homeless people in the area where you live? They're everywhere. They are everywhere. I mean, they're on every corner. I live where, pretty well secure area, let me just put it that way. But outside of, my compound, there's tents, it's weird. And it's a nice, decent neighborhood. There's people in tents, there's people in boxes. I mean, I don't even have to go far to distribute, goods and water and stuff to people. They're in, for all intents and purposes, they're in my backyard. However, I don't see any on the strip anymore. I mean, there's a couple of, like, really loony-looking people. Like, there's one guy out there, people thought he was like a performer, but he was tripping on some, some Fent or whatever. He was just like, freaking out. And those people I don't approach. I don't want to get stuck with a freaking plastic steak knife. But you don't see them like you used to. We used to go out all the time. I used to I wouldn't say love it, that's wrong. I used to hate the fact that I used to have to grassroots help people on the strip. But at the same time, I enjoyed the opportunity to do it. You don't see them. They got rid of them for F1, and they never returned. I don't know where they put them, what they did with them, or whatever, but they're not on the strip. But in the local areas, they are everywhere. Everywhere. I was in Summerlin 2 days ago. They're all over Summerlin. There's just homeless people everywhere. Everywhere in this town. And they're not getting any help. And, we're out here, yeah, Super Bowl, yeah, we're spending $100 billion on frickin' Super Bowl, bounce a ball, yay, ooh, pass, catch, touchdown, yay. And we got thousands and thousands and thousands of homeless people. Yeah, good priorities. Casino slot couple. Yeah, I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine in AZ, and he's like, it took me 8 weeks to get over that stupid cough. It's just a cough with like an irritation in your lungs that makes you cough. And your body, is producing phlegm to expel whatever that shit is in your lungs. And, I mean, you see people all over this town I see the tourists. That's probably how I got it. And I'm not, like, sick, where I'm like, oh, I'm in bed and blah, blah, blah. I'm totally functional. Because, I mean, in three years that you guys have known me, have you ever seen me sick or take a day off other than surgery, getting my face torn off? No, I don't really get sick because, I take so much stuff to prevent that. But the way people are in this town, people just like, just spewing their freaking germs. People don't cover their mouth. They don't do nothing. They're just like hacking that shit. Oh, and like the first week of whatever the hell this was sneezes. And sneezes are even worse than coughs because you're just injecting that's like projectile germs or whatever. It's crazy. Yeah, Kevin. I mean, this town is being bought up by, you can't say the name, Black Block with the R, you know what I'm saying? They're buying property in this town like you wouldn't believe, like blocks and blocks at a time and blocks at a time, because that's the game plan. You know, they don't want you to ever own a house because that leads to generational wealth, perhaps. They want everyone to be on the subscription basis for their entire life, and these youngins, they'll be getting used to that. Like, they think owning a home is so far out of reach. So when these corporations buy up these houses, they're just going to rent them or lease them back. You know, they're playing the long game, and these people are falling for it. They were so proud today. I read an article in the news. The average price of a home fell in Las Vegas. Now it's only $410,000 for a freaking box, a cardboard box. I mean, on a postage stamp lot. It's horrible. 10 years ago, that same house that's 410 was like 170. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Trisha, how are you? Yeah, exactly. It's like you're not sick. It's just like, it's something your body's fighting. I always say, don't claim it. You know, never own anything that's bothering you. You are fighting something. You don't have something. But yeah, your body's just reacting to some environmental stress that's going on. I've had the same energy levels, but it's like, you know, you wake up all congested, you know, you gotta blow it all out, you schnozzle it, you can breathe fine, you know, but every once in a while, them freaking coughs. Chanel Michelle, you haven't been sick in 6 years? Yeah, that's good. And I could pretty much say the same thing. I've always taken the zinc, the vitamin D deficiency is the culprit in almost every sickness. Vitamin D is a hormone, you know, which is weird that you can buy it in a jar, but it's a hormone. Converts to a hormone, sustains other hormones. But keep on top of your vitamin D, and you probably won't get too much of anything. And I use Zicam nasal swabs every freaking day, you know, and that's not because I'm a hypochondriac or whatever, but for some reason, you know, I live in a town where people bring their germs from all four corners of the planet and deposit them here on the doorknobs, in the air, on the chips, on the table, on the cups, you know, all that. So yeah, I do it every day. So, you know, whatever this is, whatever it was, it is. Let's see. Let's find some more. 71 additional homes in North, yeah. Yeah, I know, Double Eagle. I mean, what happened to that whole shit, you know? Washing your hands, you know? People are just back to just being total pigs now, you know? Janice with the Vibe Bananaramas. How's the new platform going? What's the first topic you want to tackle without restriction? Oh, Carl, that's a good question. The platform's going good. I just got... What am I doing today? I had to build a couple landing pages. What I spent all day working on, and, you know, I just imagined it would be easy importing channel members into the new platform, but it's turning out to be quite a bear. I mean, it honestly is. I'll figure out a way to do it well, because I'm gonna do it, but it's turning into a challenge. Like, I was trying to import it via spreadsheets, and like YouTube, all right, I love you, YouTube. YT, I had to throw him for a loop there. YT makes it extraordinarily challenging to access information about your own followers, except for the demographics. Like, they tell me what you had for breakfast, but getting an email address for someone who's supporting me or contacting them, they make it extraordinarily tough. So that was my challenge today. I had to work on some CSS code for some of the pages. That way it looks uniform. Like, I put together a thing where you could buy. See, this is one of the ways I think I'm going to gift memberships. I put together gift cards. Like, you could literally, but like how you can gift a membership here, you could do the same thing on the other site by way of gift card. So you could purchase a gift card and have it emailed to somebody. I think that's how I'm gonna have to bring everyone in. I mean, that's gonna be an enormous challenge because it's like 70, 80 people I have to bring in. So I've been working on that all day. I had to test the checkouts. I had to port in a new email address. You know, the back end, the front end looks cool. I'm almost ready to launch that, but it's like people will start pressing all the buttons and I'm not ready for people to quite start signing up yet. But making lots of progress, which is good. The first topic I want to discuss, I'm not 100% sure, but I do want to go after, I want to start discussing current events. Like, as you know, February 1st, YouTubers are no longer going to be allowed. You will be sanctioned if you cover current affairs that YT considers sensitive to certain audiences. What does that even mean? That means you could say something, and if they consider it, like one person might get butthurt about it, they will sanction you. That's coming November 1st. I could show you guys the article, maybe in the Bror Nation Facebook group, the email that they sent, but it's like, no more reporting on the news. They just don't want you to do it. So that's the first thing I want to do. I want to start having honest, open discussions about what's taking place at our borders, what's taking place at our schools, what's taking place. That I'm just gonna dive into it like hard. Everything that I can't talk about now. Casino slot couple. Bror, I used to be Lucky Lady Slots. Thank you. Well, I was wondering where you went. That's cool. I appreciate you, and thank you for those 10 Bananaramas, and you keep safe too. Let's see. Did I ever go to my high school reunion? No. My high school was, I told you, my high school was a penitentiary. I didn't really make any friends there per se. It was, my school was so large, and it had, okay, we had metal detectors. This is in New York, in the city. We had metal detectors. That's why I don't know why they can't put them on schools now, because we had metal detectors back in the 80s, you know? So, what the actual F? We just have to go through a metal detector. We had police in the school. We had automatically locking doors. Like when the bell rang, it was like a penitentiary. You heard all the doors, chunk, 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 chunk. You know, like, and then they'd sweep the hall, throw you in the auditorium, you know, that's where the shit got settled. There was about between 4,000 and 5,000 students for each session. So cumulatively there was like 10,000 students. That's why they split it into two. So yeah, you didn't really get to make friends. I mean, it was bad. It was really, really bad. I mean, no, it was just, my high school was just about surviving. That's it. You survived. You weren't there to learn. Like I said, classes were like 35 minutes. You were there to survive. And, you know, I survived. Kinda. For the most part. So, no, there was no I wasn't even made aware of any high school reunion. Because, like, the reunion would have had to been held on, like, frickin' Rikers Island if they did a high school reunion. It would have been at Rikers. So I never had the fun of being able to do that. Alright, let's see. Yeah, if you're sensitive to cute kitten videos, yeah, well, why they'll protect you from everything. You know, put thy trust in the government. She's trying to sell me some furniture. Would you buy furniture for her? That's the third commercial in 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Not a fan. I don't know why they're hitting so hard with the commercials. That ain't me. That's YT. And there is going to be 0 commercials on my platform. 0. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like commercials, because they do, you know, I do get a little something from the ads that they run, not much. You know, it's mostly like, you know, you guys support with the super chat and the memberships that, you know, makes it tolerable to be here. I mean, they do pay some, but I think like so far this month, like $200, you know, in ads for the amount that they run. You'd think I'd be making like bank on that shit, but I'm not. Rather buy furniture from a lumberjack. Yeah, me too. I don't know why that is, but I would too. No, they would. Yeah, I mean, my school was on such a lockdown, but still people managed to bring, you know, weapons in and whatnot. Yeah, my school was crazy, but like I said, we used to have to go through a metal detector. Well, there was only one way in and one way out. There was the main entrance with the granite steps you used to have to walk through. Every other exit was like chained off. So if something ever happened in that school, you know, you'd be SOL. But yeah, so that's how they kept everything in check. One way in, one way out, metal detectors, and police everywhere. And not these, you know, not like the school police, but actual, you know, 113th precinct, you know, cops were in there. Haley told me she's gonna come check on me. Did she forget about me? Haley. But this coffee is good. I should flag her down. Marie Bell. Can you explain New York City etiquette to your new viewers who have never heard that from you before, and why is it good to have? Thank you for the 5 banana-ramas and the question. I miss New York City etiquette. I miss the how would I say, the organized chaos of it. I miss the subtleties of being able to communicate without ever having to say a word, like, really? You know, I miss being able to do that, you know? I miss like nobody messing with anyone else's car, you know? I miss, how would I say? There's a certain etiquette that takes place. You know, there's certain things you do, there's certain things you don't. I mean, talking with someone's wife or girlfriend can land you in the swamp behind JFK. And you wouldn't have to be the one who did it, you know? Like someone to do it for you. They'd be like, yo, bro, there was this dude, he was chatting up your woman. Don't worry, we took care of it. You know? I mean, that's how it was. There was a certain etiquette. People were not willing. I mean, talk about fuck around and find out. New York City, at least back then, was a land of fuck around and find out, because, you know, people didn't put up with crap, you know, but that made things run smoother. Just like when, you know, that certain organization like this here used to run this town, you know. People fucked around, they found out. So stuff really didn't happen. You didn't see the level of crime and petty theft and all that you see now, you know, because the fear of, you know, true justice taking place is a lot different than, you know, this type of thing. Yeah, people, you know, like if you if you looked at someone too long, they'd be like, what are you writing a fucking book about me? What are you, a Fed? What are you looking at, narc? You know, like, people don't hesitate to speak what's on their mind. But at the same time, people say that New Yorkers are rude because of that. And a lot of people didn't like 45 being a New Yorker too, but you gotta understand our mentality, you know? You constantly, I don't even think women understand what men go through, like on the daily. Like the minute we friggin' walk out the door, we're in competition with every other dude we encounter on some level or another, even your friends. It's just a constant competition. It's, law of the jungle. Now in New York, you magnify that by 10, but there's rules to it. You don't do this, you don't do that. There's certain ways of doing things, but at the same time, if you know those ways, you stay out of trouble, you get the respect that you want. Like the bro nod, I mean, I still see it here, but that little slight, you're walking this way, this dude's walking that way, you don't know him from a hole in the wall, and you just go like this. Basically what you're communicating is, if the shit goes down, you seem like a cool guy, It's just like, it's an acceptance that, let's stay out of each other's way, because obviously, you ain't taking no shit, and neither am I, but let's keep an eye on the rest. There's like a certain thing that takes place. Like I said, I don't know if that exists anymore, but it just made things so simple. Nobody sat on your car, nobody, it was different. You didn't have to worry about shit. I mean, okay, depends on the car. If you had a hoopty, maybe, but you know me, I was, alright. Shall I show this again? Shall we go there again? I think we'll go there again. Like I said, depends on the car. Okay, so if you want to know, this is what I was doing today. That's CSS code. Let's see. They're playing some good music right now. To the arms that open wide, yeah. Whatever tomorrow. See, I still got that little bit of a cough. But like I said, I do miss the unspoken etiquette of back east. I think that's what you're supposed to call it, back east. Like, okay, if you're rocking a vehicle like that, and you got your proper leathers on and whatever, nobody's gonna F with you, because they're just gonna make certain assumptions, And that's okay in the grand scheme of things, There's just a certain etiquette, and I haven't seen it anywhere else but back home, and I still consider it home. Now, could I ever afford to move back there? Holy shit. The house that I sold, the last house I owned in New York, sold for 7 times what I sold it for, and I sold it for 3 times what I bought it for, and someone sold it for 7 times what I sold it to them for. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the last house I owned in, I think I finally sold it in 98 or 99. I was paying $12,500 in property tax. It's nuts. Yeah, that NDS, that was a caddy, with the limo tent. Yeah. If I was arrested with no explanation, what would your friends assume that I had done? They would automatically assume that, I was either sticking up for something that they would assume that I went off on a whole tangent of fighting for my rights or someone else's. Like something very, how would I say? not righteous, but I will fight when I know I'm right, you know, and I will fight for the rights and well-being of people who can't, you know, defend themselves. Like, I'm the guy who runs towards the fire, you know, so, yeah, you know, it would be a case of mistaken identity or whatnot. But you know how it is, you know, nowadays. Anything goes down, everyone goes away, you know, so, yeah, it'd probably be for, like, defending myself or someone else or a woman or whatever. It wouldn't be for, like, a crime, per se, because I'm not a criminal. I'm just, you know, I'm a stand-up guy. I don't do anything shady. Yeah, it'd be for, like, you know, knocking someone on the ass who deserved it. Yeah, Mike K. Yeah, you miss please and thank you. Yeah, right? Like, that etiquette. That etiquette. Uh-oh. They're cranking the music up. The movie Casino was glamorous compared to what we used to read about. Yeah, no kidding. Spilotto, yeah, I didn't want to get into him. I never met him, but I heard stories about him. Who got all wrenched up? What are you talking about? Alright, I think my chat stopped. Let me just fire it up real quick. Bonk. Alright, now we'll move. You paid $157 for your house near Canyon Gate? Yeah. Right? I had a place in Canyon Gate too. You know? That's probably worth, I don't even know. I bought it years after you, and I didn't pay that much more. Like when I left right after 9/11, because like the economy just got so bad here in town, and that's the area I was in. I was over there, and I also had a place, Piccoli Ranch, across the street. So yeah. I'm at 488. You know what that's probably now? Like 1.4 mil. Will I ever get growing simple? Will I ever get to see my ranch property? I want to. I mean, it's a pain in the ass because, you know, it's Wyoming. There are more sheep. There are more like mountain goats and there's more antelope than people in Wyoming. So getting out of there, you got to go into Cheyenne. You got to rent a 4-wheel drive. You got to drive. It's in Medicine Bow. You know, whatever. But, you know, it's buried like 9 levels deep. You'll never figure out where. Not you, but, you know, in general. But Medicine Bow area. So it's kind of an inconvenience. There's no place to stay around there. Like, I'd have to, like, pitch a tent. I mean, it is like wilderness. It's got a couple of groves of like trees, like a stand of trees, and I was thinking years ago I should have built like a square of trees, and by now they would have been like a really good snow break if I ever wanted to put a house there. So, but missed that boat. They would have been grown by now. But one day I'll go back there. You know, I was considering like doing like a hunting lodge or something. There's a reservoir not too far from there, and people do, it's really popular, believe it or not, for those windsurfers where they get on a surfboard with a kite and whatever, because it's freaking windy in Wyoming. It is windy AF. But yeah, we lived there for 16 years. I like that area. I mean, we probably met at one time or another. I used to go to all the itinerary events at the country club and whatnot, you know. Remember they used to do all the scotch tastings? Like every Friday night they do like a scotch tasting and a cigar tasting. That was fun. I think, you know, speaking of the 90s, I still believe that we peaked as a species in the 90s because we had enough technology that our lives were easy, but not too much that we were total a-holes, you know? Now we have all the technology in the world, and we're like de-evolving from it. I mean, there was such a good balance then of being, you know, yeah, I think we peaked as a species. That's all I'm saying. What is the weirdest thing I've ever eaten? I ate bull balls, you know? I did. It was more of a dare, you know? I went over, this woman wanted to introduce me to her father, and he served me up some bull balls to see if I would eat them or not. And I ate them. I'm just like, whatever, you know? You know? I gained all the power of the bull balls, you know? Testosterone from a bull, whatever, I don't care. Well, that's actually a thing. Bovine testosterone. It's pretty freaking healthy, but you gotta eat them raw to get it. So yeah, I did. I ate them, and then we drank cacique for the whole bottle of cacique the rest of the night. But that was about the weirdest shit I ever ate, was bull balls, you know? Other than that, I can't really think of anything like truly weird that I've eaten. I've eaten a bug or two. I'm gonna eat that scorpion. I put it in my freezer. The next time I do a studio live, I'm sorry I haven't done any studio lives in a while. It's just, I'm just so engrossed in trying to get this new streaming service up ASAP. That's why I haven't been doing it, you know, because like, I got like 5 notebooks around. It's just like, I'm so like engrossed. But I do have a scorpion that I'm gonna munch on, and I want to see what happens, so I gotta make sure I'm not gonna do anything. Am I really John Dalton from the show Yellowstone? I don't know, maybe. You never know. I dig that show. I mean, I'm not gonna pay for it, you know, I just refuse to pay for it, but I saw like the, you know, 1876, I saw like the prequels, and I saw a couple of them, you know. Yeah, that would be my life, you know. I would be branding people or whatever. I would brand some MFers to make sure they're loyal to me and whatever. Bills or the Chiefs? I think I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. It's 50-50, right? Oh, Janet, it does feel good to get out. It honestly does. I'm looking forward to getting back in there, but like I said, I'm enjoying every second of it, but it's been challenging. Oh, speaking of the platform, I could also do, if anyone else wants to create content or thinks they have their own ideas, you know, I welcome putting your videos up too, you know, because I could expand it into like a network eventually. I'm also developing a community bulletin board where people can post their businesses. I mean, not like spam the shit out of everyone, but if you're in business and you do something of note that you want people to know, you know, like the board in the beautician shop where everyone sticks their business card. I'm making like a virtual version of that. So, you know, because people like to do business with people they like, you know. Business is about doing business with people. So I'm doing so many things at once. I really should like take it back a notch and kick it off and then start adding shit as I go. But I keep coming up with these ideas in the middle of the night. And I wake up and I throw some clothes on because I sleep naked. I throw some clothes on, not that anyone's looking, and I go and like, it just feels weird, you know, being in front of the computer naked. So I gotta put some clothes on, I'm like, oh, this is what I can do, this is what I can do, but it's like, that's how my brain works. It's like non-stop. So we'll see. Packers, go with the Bills? Yeah, kind of like, I mean, the Bills. I knew someone who was into the Bills, and I don't like them. Not the Bills, this person. That's how petty my brain is sometimes. I can't stand that person, and I know they were a huge Bills fan. So I'm like rooting against them just to hurt this one person. Isn't that vindictive? Packers. Da-da-da-da-da. Have you ever seen something I can't explain? What is this commercial? Go away. The commercials are freaking out of control tonight. That's at least a fifth in just over an hour. Yeah. Have you ever seen something I have not been able... Oh, I've seen lots. That's why I believe in God. Because I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. You know, not like paranormal ghouls and ghosts and goblins and all that type of stuff. I don't believe in that crap. I think people manufacture that in their brains. But I've seen some miraculous stuff. I have told you the story about how I was rescued in a snowstorm by a vehicle with really bright taillights that wasn't technically there, and I followed it to safety in the middle of a blizzard. Like, I've had stuff like that happen to me, but, you know, those weren't aliens. That was just like, that was just God, like, we ain't done yet. God's like, bro, I ain't done with you yet. You know, we got some shit we gotta do. You ain't checking out yet. What is my signature dish? What is my signature? Oh, you know what I made last night? I don't know if it's a signature dish, but I made chicken cutlets. Gluten-free chicken cutlets. I got some, what's a face? 4C's makes pretty good gluten-free breadcrumbs. They're chunky, it's not like powder, it's like Rice Krispies, but not really. You gotta season the crap out of them though. But yeah, I spent like hours yesterday. I made up like 4 pounds. Yeah, I made 4 pounds. I cut them into like fingers and whatnot. I soaked them in balsamic vinegar first, and then I let that dry, and then I put them in flour, let that dry, then I did the egg and that's into the seasoned breadcrumbs, let that dry on a rack, then I fried them all. That was good. I'm gonna be eating them for like 3 days. That was really good. Chicken cutlets to me is like the perfect food. From a macro and a health perspective, okay, I fried them, whatever. Air fryers are bullshit. I mean, I don't care. Sorry to hurt your feelings, but air fryers suck. They just suck on an epic level. They don't fry anything. They only fry like if you buy prepared food. But if you're making it yourself, they ain't frying shit. You know, because they put so much, you know, they make, you know, like when you buy the frozen bags of chicken wings or whatever, yeah, it might fry that, but it ain't frying my, I tried it once. I tried putting my chicken cutlets in there. It turned them into friggin' wood, you know? By the time it cooked all the way, they were wood. So no, anyway, but from a macro standpoint, it's a perfect amount of carbs and protein. So yeah. Marie Bella. Bro, do you watch any other, do you mean like Vegas YouTubers? If you're asking if I watch any other Vegas YouTubers, no. I just don't. I mean, it's nothing personal, but I live here, so the concept of watching to see what they're doing, like, bores the living crap out of me. You know, like, I'm gonna watch another video. I stayed in the dirtiest room at Circus Circus. I did this. I mean, I get them in the feed, but it holds no interest to me. I live here, you know? So, and I don't want, like, you know, what they have to say tainting my own opinions. But as far as other, like, I do watch a bunch of YouTubers. There's so many YouTubers that are quitting. I mean, have you noticed that lately? All you see in your feed is like, I'm quitting YT, goodbye YT, I never thought I'd have to say this. I mean, all the big names are dropping like flies. It's like I know I'm starting. You know what I'm saying? It's that connection up there. I was told, when he tells you do something, you frickin' do it. And you don't slough on it, you know? I was told, start a platform. Because I told you a while ago, they are going to AI. They want to AI generate their content. I mean, they want nothing to do anymore with creators. YT wants to be a network. They have two goals. They want to compete with the mental illness factory, TikTok, which they never will and they never can. I mean, all you see is I made my last short got 4,800 views, almost 5,000. They paid me 17 cents. 17 cents. So unless I'm a yoga chick showing my freaking clam, you know, you're not gonna make any money doing that. So nobody wants to do that shit. So that it's not gonna work. And the other thing that they're doing is they've been reducing and reducing and reducing their pay. They want to go fully to AI, and they want to be a network. They want to be a place where people go, like one-stop shopping, like Amazon Prime, where you could buy, you know, Disney and Paramount, and you could buy all this shit under the one header. That's their next thing that they're going to try to do. They want to take the U out of YouTube, and that's why people are quitting, you know? So yeah, did I ever watch Mr. Beast? Not one time. I see that stuff all the time. Hack your channel and be like Mr. Beast, and I'm just like, I don't get that. I mean, I'm sure he's pretty good, but I don't know. That just has zero appeal to me. Do I watch? PBD? Who's that? Who's PBD? I don't know. I watch Quartering, Timcast once in a while, but I don't know. There's just something about, like, I can't get past some of his stuff. I mean, I think he's on point with a lot of what he's doing, but I can't get past his presentation. Like, a lot of people probably can't get past mine, so I get it. I watch Quartering once in a while, but I understand what he's trying to do, but, you know, I mean, I understand you sell coffee, bro, and I probably would too, eventually, but, you know, 4 minutes out of every 10-minute video trying to sell the coffee is really extraordinarily off-putting. I mean, it's like just drop it in there. Hey, by the way, like I do. Hey, by the way, you want to support me? I got great coffee. You know the deal. Link in the description. Get back to what you said. He goes on and on. 4 or 5 minutes about his coffee. It's almost unpalatable to watch his channel now. I watch Officer Tatum. I think he's boss. You know, I watch a lot of the conservative pundits. I watch Russell Brand, but he sometimes, like I watch Russell Brand with one AirPod in, while I'm like washing dishes, because I mean, I get everything that he's saying, but it's, you know, it's much. It's much. He could like sum everything up really quick. Patrick Bet. No, I haven't. I gotta look him up. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. Who's not leaving Las Vegas? Yeah, that freaking AG1 is everywhere. I mean, you could almost tell the product sucks if they gotta put that much advertising into it. Ever watch Les Gold? No, I haven't watched him. Oh, do ask him how that. What's the best thing that happened to me today? Let me think about that a second. What's the best thing that happened today? Time is flying by so quick because I'm like so engrossed in what I'm doing. What's the best thing that happened to me today? That is a good question. That's a good question. Today was such a mellow day. I had to stop in the bank today. And I started going to a different branch. Because they threw me out of my branch. They literally told me that they didn't want to be my branch anymore. And I'm like, say what? Okay, I'll tell you the story. Just quickly. It's a branch near Chinatown. I got no problem with that. And they literally, I was asking for, I just needed something. Like, how often do you go into the bank? Like, rare, you know? I just needed something done. And this woman walks up to me, this manager, she's like, I don't think there's a good branch for you. I'm like, why not? And she wasn't saying it, but she's like, you know, Guaylo? You know, Guaylo? You Guaylo? And I'm like, I understand. I understand like a third of what you're saying. Be careful. You know, I grew up in the community. And she was just like, this isn't a place for you. This isn't a place for you. Maybe you go Summerlin, she was telling me. And I'm like, what? She's like, you know, she was like politely telling me that they didn't want to, that branch was more for the local community there, which is Chinese. And I'm like, I don't have a freaking problem with that. You know, you afraid that you can't communicate with me? I understand a lot of what you're saying, you know? And I was like, okay. So I did go and check out this other branch that was like 4 blocks away. It's like 4 blocks away. It's still all, you know, all Chinese people behind the counter and everything. And I'm like, Gong Fa Joy. You know, I'm appreciating. They actually have like lanterns hanging in it and everything. And I'm like, cool, bro. And they are so nice. The exact polar opposite of these other people, which was so ethnocentrically asshole-ish. And these people, same, like if you spun me around twice, you'd think you were in the same location. They were awesome to me. I had to go in today. Matter of fact, those were the people who I had experienced them again today because I had to go and take care of some stuff. They are so awesome that I literally stop and I'm like, you know, it's such a pleasure to be here. You know, you're always like, how you doing? You know, everyone in there. Hello, hello, hello. It's just awesome to see that level of customer service anymore. That was the place that when I left my coffee cup, you know my Christmas coffee cup, the insulated one, Angie. I left it at that location. And they texted me like 4 times. They emailed me. They called and left like 4 messages to make sure I got my freaking coffee cup back. This other place would have been like, yeah, you know, because I was Guaylo. They didn't even think I knew what they were talking about, but I you know, I didn't raise any stink about it and whatnot, you know, but whatever. So that was my good experience today. It's such a pleasure to go somewhere and be treated with respect from a business, because every time you gotta do something in this life now, you gotta like put on a helmet and shoulder pads and gird your loins and sharpen your blades. I mean, every fucking thing that we have to do. Renew your insurance, add a new phone to your policy, find out why you were billed $15 extra on your electric bill. Whatever administrative thing that you have to do in your life now requires like a half a day of effort and all the mental cycles that you could put together for the entire day, because nobody wants to do that job. And if they do their job, it's completely half-assed, and that's why I had to go into the bank, because they did something so simple. I had to make a couple updates to a few things, and they effed it up online. So I had to go in there personally. It's like, ugh, life is just becoming more and more complicated. That's why I say, I think we peaked as a species in the 90s, because with all the technology we have, nobody wants to do anything anymore. You know, the simplest thing is like a challenge, and that's why I come here. I will frequent this place until they change, you know, because they show me respect. I feel comfortable. They remember me. I mean, you know, she's there. She's like, "Your coffee, sir?" I'm like, "Yeah, thank you." You know, you can't put a price on that, and I don't mind taking care of them. But finding these people today that go out of their way to make sure that customers don't lose a freaking coffee cup, a mug, you know, like it was gold. They're like, "Oh, we wanted to make sure you had this. We knew it was probably important to you. You know, maybe a gift, maybe from a loved one. We wanted to get it back to you." Whoa, you know, I missed that. Woo. Ticketmaster, is that? Do they really have good customer service, or they have like really shit customer service? Yeah, customer service is a dead freaking issue. I mean, it's just, they don't feel they have to. I ran into a situation where the actions of, you know, like you walk in and they're like, you know, you're dealing with these freaking shit-for-brained kids, you know, indoctrinated by the mental illness factory TikTok, and they're like annoyed at you. How can I help you? I'll put you over my knee, you little shit, you know? Feel someone looking at me. Anyway, and they actually effed something up. They did the exact opposite of what, like, you're afraid to, like, you're afraid to rock the boat when you need something done, you know? Like, just, I mean, getting this watch put onto my frickin' cell plan took 2 days of my life. The first guy effed it up, completely effed it up. He had me set it up. He's like, no, you gotta set it up for a family member because it needs its own Apple ID. And I'm like, no, it don't, bro. I watched the video on YouTube. He's like, no, trust me, this way is gonna be better. And I'm just like, he effed everything up. You know, I had to go back, reset it. It cost me 2 days of my life to get that done. Nobody wants to. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. And I'm not the only one, but that's why they invented that Karen bullshit. Yes, there's Karens in the world. Yes, there are. I'm not gonna say no. But when they invented the concept of the Karen, that was to discourage people from standing up for themselves. Oh, I don't want to be called a Karen. You know, I'm just gonna eat whatever shit they serve me. You know, I mean, how many? Even in Vegas here, you know, I know for a fact people just like they feel ripped off. I could see it in their faces. You know, and then they'll sit there and brag. Oh yeah, that was the best burger I ever had at Bobby Flay's. Yeah, it's 20, because you're too embarrassed to say, I got freaking ripped off for $21 for a freaking slider, for a greasy slider, you know, and Bobby Flay wasn't within 100 miles of the place. Yeah, it's embarrassing to say you got ripped off, so, you know, you're gonna brag about, oh, I only eat at Bobby Flay's, you know, oh, yeah, they're expensive, but they're good. You're a freaking liar, because they don't want to complain. If enough people are like, I ain't paying you $21 for a freaking slider that tastes like ass, shove it up your ass, you know? And no one wants to do that anymore. Everyone's too embarrassed. I've embarrassed a ton of people because I don't take any shit from anyone, you know? You know, I'm the guy who'll embarrass you on a date, you know? It's just the way I am. Or as your friend, I will do that, you know? I will do that. I'll tell them to shove it up their asses, but if enough people stood their ground, things would change. But everyone's just like, you know, look, they got people to put a frickin' piece of paper over their face for a year and a half. You know, my idea with that is, people say it was to push the envelope of, see how compliant and complacent we were, and people are. I think they did it because it was funny. I literally think they did it because it was funny. it was a practical joke. They were just like, blah. Yeah, part of it was compliance and this and that. But when you got that much power over us common little pissants and their opinion that don't matter an iota in their world, it was just a goof. They found that shit funny. I honestly believe that. I think they found that shit funny. But just witness the fact that people put a thing over their face and bent their ears out like this for a year and a half. And you think they're going to complain about, you know, a cold burger or fries that are like limp and disgusting when they come to Vegas? No, they've been trained to just shut up and take it. Bend over. Bend the frick over. I'm reading comments. Yeah, I mean, when you call AT&T and Verizon, yeah, there's literally now, you are taking a chance with customer service that they are going to F something up that's going to cost you money or shut off your service. I mean, I've gone through that. I had a thing, they were like, I wanted to upgrade, because you know I have super fast internet connection. It's like, I got symmetric internet, which is rare. I'm like grandfathered in before being grandfathered in and whatnot. And they did an automatic upgrade. They were like, hey, you know, we could save you a couple bucks. We're actually gonna boost your speed. We're gonna give you 600 by 600 for the same price because of the node and da-da-da-da. I'm like, don't. And they're like, but we have to. I thought you were doing me a favor. They're like, no, but we have to do this, you know? And I was like, oh, check the modem and, you know, whatever you know, had to be the 3, all this other shit. They effed it up. They gave me 1 gigabyte by 10 megabits up. So to put up a glorious 4K, like who needs internet connection down? You know, you need a gigabyte down. No, you don't. You need up speed. To upload a glorious 4K, like the one from Old Red, that would take like 8 hours to upload that with that speed. And I'm just like, no. And it took like days. And then they, in order to fix it, they made me buy a modem for $200. I'm like, it worked fine. We'll give you your old plan back, but you gotta buy a new modem. I'm like, why? Oh, because it's not compatible with your... It worked on my old modem. Well, not really. So it actually cost me $200 for a new modem to have them revert me back to my old plan. You get tired of fighting. I understand why people just accept shit, but I'm going down fighting. Yeah, I'd like to speak to your supervisor. Click. Trust me, I know that they mark, like, people like me who, like, complain. They're talking to me. They probably, you know, they probably mark your account. They're like, oh shit. But I always open up, I'm like, they're like, how's your day going? And I'm like, you know what? It's going great. Reason being, you sound like someone who's really gonna take care of me. I am putting my faith and my trust in you today. So I can't wait for you to help me. That's how I start out all the conversations, you know, and they're like, yeah, you're right, I am awesome. And then they get to work. But if I get a negative feeling from a customer service rep, I hang up. I don't care if I waited for 20 minutes. I'm just like, this person sounds like they're gonna F something up. Click. And I always try to get a woman. Unless he sounds like, you know, we could like bro bond a little bit. Like if he's like, yo, what up? You know, I'll be like, yo, what up? You know, like, what up, bro? You know, we could talk some shit or whatever. But if he sounds like, you know, if he has a little like, how would I say? What's the right way to say? If he's like, if he says and You know, like if he has a little inflection in his voice, I know me and him aren't going anywhere. So I'm just like, click. And then if a woman picks up, I'm like, hey, how you doing? And then I drop like another octave in my voice. So I'm like, how are you today? You sound like you want to help me. Make them melt a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Gotta use what you have. Women show cleavage, I drop an octave. Let's see what else is going on here. He's so fine. That's what they're playing in the background. Haley never came and got me my coffee. That's beat. Yeah, whenever you hear you can tell the attitude, And I think some people, I can't say it on, what do you call it? I can't say it on, I can say it on my new channel, my new streaming platform. I don't think I can say it here. But I think sometimes I'm a victim of some discrimination, if you know what I'm saying. I think that plays a role, because I'm of a disliked demographic, because of my age and stuff. When did bad customer service start? Oh, it started a long time ago. And Joe wants a baritone night shift. Yeah, stop pounding on the table. Thank you for those 2 banana rounds. Yeah, everyone's down with the frickin' micro and macro aggressions now. I see that, Because, people just pretty much know they're not going to get punched in the face, but try that shit with the 300 illegals running across the border. Try your microaggressions on them, Don't try it on me. We're going to discuss everything. I was in the mood for another cup of coffee, but I don't think I'm getting one. Maybe Haley's busy. Haley's usually on point. I told her to come on. What makes me happy? Believe it or not, as curmudgeon-y as I come off it sometimes, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty easy to make happy, Like, I stared at my Christmas tree last night. That made me happy. Simple things. Like, life is a game to me. I turn everything into a game. I have fun every day. Every day of my life is fun. Every day I wake up, I look forward to it. I never dread a day, even if I go to bed with something. Like, there's been a lot of crap that I've had to deal with lately, business-wise and otherwise, outside of the YT thing. So it's caused me some stress, but I still deal with it because it's an opportunity to succeed. It's an opportunity to problem solve. It's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to learn. I don't shy away from, I don't put my head in the sand when it comes to my problems. I attack them head on, even if it's from behind. You know what I'm saying? There's certain ways you gotta do things certain times, but flow through it, flow over it, flow around it, but it's an opportunity to do something, and that makes me happy, I just try to have fun, believe it or not, If you were to, put a spy cam on me and follow me around for a day, you'd be like, to this day, I will still throw things as far as I can to see if I can get them in the trash. I will still do everything I did when I was 10 years old. Even though I'm a grown-ass man, because it's fun. I never want to abandon the childlike ability to just have fun. And fun that doesn't rely on being fun at someone else's expense, you know? Respecting all the people around me, but still having a good time, you know? Having a good time without requiring alcohol or 420 or any other substance. Not saying I've never done any of those things, but it's not really part of my life, you know? I'm not saying I object to having a drink or whatever, but, you know, still do on occasion, have the old fashions and whatever. But it's not like I don't need them to have fun, you know? If anything, I get the opposite, you know? If I'm like, drink and whatnot, you know? I get like super gregarious, and then like I get like really introverted, and then I'm like, I'm out. So that is what it is. But I don't require that. I don't require being inebriated or any type of artificial stimulation to have fun, because I never lost sight of the, you know, the childlike wonder of life. That's why I'm into Christmas so much. That's why I love Christmas, you know, because it embodies the childlike playfulness and fun and what life is meant to be. Life is not meant to be the grind, the hustle, the constant endeavors to, that's just how we've been enslaved, you know? Like the whole concept of, you know, just this work a day until you drop dead thing, that's just, you know, we're just slaves. We just don't realize it, you know? People are buying the hours of our life in exchange for some stuff, you know, that we put in our storage unit. So to be able to have fun in an innocent, uninebriated way, like I try to have all the time, and I try not to do it at people's expenses, keeps you young, you know, keeps you feeling good, keeps you motivated. So I suggest everyone do that. Don't take it to yourself. I mean, I take life serious, don't get me wrong. Like, the Havamal, the book of my people, the instruction book to life, tells you flat out, you know, don't get too wise, because it's extremely hard to be happy when you know too much. And I know a lot of shit, and I know a lot of shit I probably don't want to know. I know a lot of shit that the average person doesn't endeavor to see, but I think, you know, that's part of my mission, is to like wake people up a little bit by shining the light, the O-light, into the dark corners of the world. I think that's why I offset it with my not growing up type of mentality. Because, you know, the more wise you get, the more wisdom you get, the harder it is to genuinely be happy. So I always endeavored not to take myself too seriously. I can still have fun with myself. I still jump on my own bed. You think I just do that in hotels? I still do it when I'm by myself, you know? You know, I still have fun, you know? I still do dumb shit that makes me laugh, you know, and probably makes other people laugh too. But it is what it is. But when it's time to be serious, I'm freaking serious. I ain't playing. But I'm balanced, you know, like that. And I hope all you guys do the same. Yeah, childlike fun. What about silent? Yeah, I mean, Kevin, I am with you 100%. Now, you know, what boggles my mind, this is one of the last things I want to say. What boggles my mind is recently finding out, I said this the other night too, that they say 30+% of people currently do not have an internal dialogue taking place all the time. That took me a long time to think about, you know? It's like, it boggles my mind, because I am always thinking, like, I constantly have an internal dialogue going on. I'm thinking about shit I need to do, not like overthinking and panicking, but I have a dialogue going on inside my head. You know, I'm thinking about where I gotta go, what I gotta do, the cologne smells good today. You know, how you doing? When I talk to people, I'm actually listening. I'm listening to how they say something, where they're looking when they say it, their choice of words, whether they're listening to me too. Like, I'm engaged in life and the world around me. And to find out that 30% of the people in the world, there's not, like, when they're there, like the lights are on and no one's home. I didn't know people didn't have internal dialogue. That was a new concept to me, and it explains a lot. It explains why they have to play music like this. That explains why people are into trends. If Kim Kardashian does it, I gotta do it. This is why I gotta wear this football jersey. This is where I gotta do this, and that's why I gotta do that. They need direction, because they have no internal dialogue going on. So they're taking in order to. That's how trends survive. I never really conceptualized that. I understand some people are more gullible and some people are more easily influenced by others, but I got neighbors who they 420, like, if they wake up to pee, I think they hit the bomb, because they probably don't have any internal dialogue. They need that like 24/7, and the music, like, I mean, it's not like loud, but if I'm outside, I could hear it. I'm just like, okay, it's just non-stop, and you can see it in town here. Peace and quiet is a commodity. There's nowhere that you can get away from music or noise or sound. It's just an inundation. But now that makes sense, because if 30% of the population has no internal dialogue, they need external stimuli to fill that. And that's noise, that's news, that's memes, that's bullshit, Just like they're sponging up whatever the world wants to give them. And that's kind of sad, but I never realized that was a thing, and I'm like kind of studying that, and it's kind of true. Right? I'm constantly, like, it doesn't, from the time I go to bed, I'm thinking about, all right, tomorrow, this and that, okay, I got six hours, 10 minutes, I'm gonna sleep, and, I think about everything. I wake up in the middle of the night, like, oh, I know what I can do, I mean, and it's not in a bad way. Yeah, people walk around with the pods in their ears all the time. Internal dialogue with God every day. That's pretty friggin' awesome. Yeah, and that's another thing. There's some people who don't want to be alone with their thoughts. Their own thoughts frighten them. And not thoughts of doing something stupid to other people or themselves, but fear. Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of various things. It's my firm belief that people fear success even more than they fear failure. That's something. See, I think about this type of stuff. That's why I say part-time philosophy. I think about that shit. If I'm walking down, I gotta walk through the casino, I'll probably be thinking about something like that. Because I think people do. And then I think, well, how can I posture that statement so it's digestible and people will understand? Because that is such a freeing thing. If I can express in one of my videos or one of my rants that you probably fear success more than you feel failure, because failing is fucking easy. You just quit, you fall off the horse and you failed. Whatever, drink another beer, Kim Kardashian's on, the big game's on tonight, but success is a whole different thing. If you actually succeed at something, then you have to follow through. Then you have to be responsible. Then you have to answer to somebody. Then you have to do all the things to make it scale. People fear success more than they fear failure. And that sounds so counterintuitive, but if you think about it, you know it's true. Because being a success at anything is difficult, especially if you want it to scale and to experience it again. And sometimes, you know, like a flash in the pan, I can go on and on and on, but that's the type of stuff that I think about. You know, that's what rattles around in my head, things like that. And that's why I want to, you know, I want to have discussions like that, because I think people need to hear that message. You know, your own fear is holding you back, not fear of good. Fear of good things happening to you. Oh, I don't deserve it, I'm a piece of shit. You know, whatever. That's a whole nother thing. I can fix that for you too. But forgive yourself. I don't know who you are. I was just told to tell you something. Forgive yourself. Just forgive yourself. Now. You know who you are. I don't. You do. I felt that too. All right, people. That was fun. All right, so what time is it? It's about that time. So tomorrow night, we're going to go out on the strip. We're going to go looking around. Carolyn, thank you. Love you. And I appreciate that 5 banana rounds. And I appreciate all the super chats. Tomorrow night, we're going to go walk around. We're going to go have some fun. We're going to do the Saturday night thing. I'll try to keep it light. We'll have some fun. I always do. And let's see, I'm not sure where I'm going to start tomorrow, but I want to do something a little different. I think I want to start a little further on the south end of the strip. We shall see. But it's going to be fun. I promise you. All right, people. I enjoyed AMA. That was some great questions. So you guys held my hand during this cathartic therapy, because it's cathartic for me too, and I hope it's cathartic for you. And I appreciate this. I got to go drop this... I love how they do that, right? That's so cool. But I'm gonna go get one of these to go, hopefully. Alright, people. I miss you guys already. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. And one last time, I'm gonna invite you to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is at least 5 times a week. And if you want to support the channel, do all the stuff down there. I'm probably gonna start a sign-up mailing list for the new platform. That way, you know, if I have the email address, I'll send you an email when the platform's ready to go, because everyone who's first on board, I'm going to do like founders type stuff or whatever, and, you know, like a free little trial, that whatever. Yeah, I'm going to do stuff. So, I'll let you know when that happens. And I love you guys. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.